Welcome back to your weekly roundup of everything that happened in Zenless Zone 0, where we will cover everything that you missed inside and outside of the game. Apologies for this week's video being a bit later than usual. I was stuck without power for a majority of the weekend, so that was pretty cool. But otherwise, with the second half of the patch approaching, we're entering the idle phase of Zenless Zone 0 as the Angels of Delusion are going to become a lot more prevalent now. But before that though, Phase 2 will officially begin on Wednesday the 21st, and that also means the start of a new set of banners, although there are some key things about these banners that are different from usual. Firstly, the current YIXUAN and the Zhao banners are not going anywhere, so they will remain all the way until the end of the patch. However, these new rerun banners will be a special rerun banner called an exclusive rescreening, where you can select who is the rate-up agent between Alice, Soldier Anby, and Astra Yao. Not only that, but the first time you get an S rank on this exclusive rescreening banner, it will be guaranteed to be that selected rate-up agent, so no 50-50. Furthermore, the first 10 pull that you do on this banner will be 20% off. All of these things will also apply for the Wenjin banner too, featuring the same selection of engines for Soldier Anby, Alice, and Astra Yao. One other important thing though is that because of the special nature of this banner, being an exclusive rescreening banner, it carries its own separate pity that is not shared with the other typical limited banners. So for example, if you have 40 pulls already on the YIXUAN banner, you will be starting from scratch again on the exclusive rescreening banner, and vice versa. If you do any pulls on the exclusive rescreening banner, that will not count towards pity towards the other limited YIXUAN banner. That being said though, if you do some pulls on the exclusive rescreening banner and don't get an S rank, your pity will carry over, but just to the next time an exclusive rescreening banner like this comes around. Although to be fair, we don't know how often these types of banners will be. Maybe this was a one-off thing and it only comes around every few months or so, or maybe this is the new norm for rerun banners. Only time will tell. Although, if I can speak about some speculation already, it's very risky, especially because as it stands right now, it has been rumored that the reruns for patch 2.6 will be YIXUAN and YUZUHA, which does kind of make sense since by then they would be some of the oldest agents once 2.6 does roll around. If we of course exclude Harumasa, because apparently Harumasa just doesn't count anymore. But if it is just those two of YIXUAN and YUZUHA, it does sound like next patch we could go back to the regular types of rerun banners where it is a typical one limited banner per phase. Otherwise, also on Wednesday the 21st with the second phase, we will have the usual Enna NTL Lap login event where you can earn 10 Boopons for logging in across 7 days. And then also on the same day will be the first of 2 events for the Angels of Delusion, with the event Angels and Delusions of Muse, where we will get to know the angels as we accompany them while they try to find some inspiration for some new songs. Speaking of the Angels of Delusion though, as well as some songs, we've heard a snippet of their own song in the trailer that played during the Game Awards, but recently a full Zenless Zone 0 themed concert was uploaded to the Chinese Bilibili platform, part of which included a performance of this Angels of Delusion song. The link to the camera recording of the concert is in the description below, so feel free to give that a watch. Although I'm sure that when we get closer to the actual release of them, the exact same song will be uploaded with a full music video and everything else. If you'd rather wait to hear a proper recording as opposed to a phone recording in a concert venue, you could also just wait a bit longer to hear what their song sounds like. And then on Friday, we will have of course our regularly scheduled Shiyu defense reset. This time around, the 3 buffs are as follows. The first is Fleeting Glory, which will increase agent's attack by 25% as well as crit damage by 20% while they are in an Ether Veil state specifically. And also, when an agent hits an enemy, they will ignore 10% of their physical resistances. This obviously heavily leaning towards a YIXUAN team. The second stage buff is Piercing Blade Abyss, which increases agent ice and physical damage by 15%. And when enemies are hit by an attribute anomaly, their defense will be reduced by 10% and they will also take 20% more attribute anomaly damage for 10 seconds. Clearly, this is going to be the Miyabi stage, and also, hey, would you look at that? Alice is getting a rerun, and she's also a physical anomaly agent. How convenient. The third buff is Cleanse the Heart with Fire, which increases fire damage by 20% while also increasing basic attack and chain attack damage by 40%, as well as increasing crit damage by 30% too. This sounds like a great time to whip out either Evelyn or try out the new buffed kit of Soldier 11. But otherwise, before we move on to the social media stuff, there is one last thing left to say. If you would like to top up on some polychromes yourselves, why not try using LD Shop? Especially considering you can get top-up options cheaper through LD Shop than you would in-game, with discounts of up to nearly 22% for new users. For example, purchasing an internet membership through LD Shop costs only $3.87 compared to the $5 if you were to purchase it in-game. And topping up is really easy. All you need is your in-game user ID and your server. Once you fill those in, you can click on top up, choose your payment method, and within seconds your order is completed and you can see the rewards in-game. and yes, you can even get the double bonus for first time top-ups. LD Shop is a trusted and authorized service that is 100% safe and legitimate. Also, if you use my link in the description when you register on LD Shop, you will also get a 5% off coupon to use. And if you spend over $80, you will also gain a VIP membership, which can earn you free internet memberships and regular coupons. Once again, you can check out the description and the pinned comment to start saving with LD Shop. Now then, moving on to the social media side of things, starting off with a Twitter contest. It's 2 weeks late, but there is a New Year greeting card event where you can download a template to create your own greeting card. And then, by posting it on the link tweet in the description below, which is also where you can find the template, you will stand a chance to win a merch bundle which contains a framed acrylic card set from the Cinema series, as well as a Redo Outfit series one. And you will also get a Bangu Plus charm in this little bundle. And then last week I mentioned a DJ live concert in Japan, but I forgot to mention that there is actually also going to be a concert in New York too, scheduled for March 21st and March 22nd, with a different lineup of DJs and guests though. Now tickets for this were meant to go on sale on January 15th, but there were some technical difficulties with the site, so now tickets will go on sale January 23rd at 8 PM EST. So don't worry, you still have a chance to try and grab some tickets. Although, please take note that because of the venue, entry is restricted to people ages 21 and over. Otherwise, when it comes to social media, as we are nearing the end of the first phase, there isn't much activity. Hence why instead the social media manager on the Zenless Zone Zero account was taking part in the silly little Twitter trend where people split up images into multiple different segments, so you're forced to click on the tweet to view them in full. But the official Angels of Delusion Twitter account has also been making some posts, with the most recent one mentioning a Q&A that they will be holding based off of the comments to the tweet, which is in the description below. And in their next post, they will choose some of those questions and answer them in their next post. So if you have a burning question for the Angels of Delusion, be sure to leave it as a comment on the linked tweet below. And then if you're looking to get some official merchandise to wear, there is a collaboration for some officially licensed Zenless Zone Zero clothing, with pre-orders recently being opened for a Miyabi jacket in collaboration with M.Rage. Do note that these are only for pre-orders right now though, but while you're there on the site though, you could also look into picking up a Jane Doe bomber jacket from the same page at m.rage.com/ZZZ, or you can just use the link in the description below. But otherwise, that is going to be it for this week. We are now slowly approaching a time where it is going to be nothing but Angels of Delusion from here on out. I mean, for example, at Anime Impulse, they had a giant ass SUV, I think it's an SUV, with an Angels of Delusion wrap on it as well. For some people, I know this is the thing that everybody's been waiting for. For others though, I know they just cannot wait until the Angels of Delusion are over with. Which camp are you on? Are you excited for the Angels, or are you just waiting for them to come so that the sooner they arrive, the sooner they can go? But otherwise, thank you all for watching until the end. If you enjoyed this video, then liking, commenting, and subscribing is greatly appreciated. But until next time, bye bye!